Okay, so I'm just catching up on this because I went away to get beers. What is the thing going on here? What's the attraction with beers? He said, drinking his lager. What's it all about? And why do you want to drink alcohol? Why not just be satisfied with like churros, like these people over on this side of the table? That's what we're talking about here. Anyway, let's just get some names. I need to refresh. I'm just taking over the shift. Thank you very much for cleaning that up for me. Sorry about that. So let's just get some names. My name's Mikey. What's your name?
Lauren.
And
Scarlett.
And
Rowan.
And
Gabriel.
Gabriel, welcome. What's your name?
Fraser.
Oh, that's right. Yep.
Kyle. Nelly. Libby.
Oliver.
Sadie. Scarlett. Ryan. Liam. Alicia. Kian.
Okay, and what about the back there? What's your name?
Patsy.
Okay, can we get involved in this? Why don't you want to talk? What's your name?
His name's Riley.
Okay, and we've got a couple here as well. What's your name?
Ashton.
And?
Sarah.
Where do we want to go with this conversation? We want to talk about the booze? Do we want to talk about something else? Do we want to talk about how rules? Because a lot of this has been about how rules are different for parents and kids, yeah?
Never mind.
What is it? What were you thinking? Was it half a subject? Maybe someone could come up with the other half. No? Too controversial?
Nothing.
Okay, yeah.
Why is it socially acceptable to go like eat pork with someone who can't eat pork, like because of their religion?
Okay, I mean, I'm going to turn the question back. What do you think?
I'm not sure because it's the choice of that. It's their choice of religion.
Yeah.
Usually.
Yeah.
But also, it could mean that they don't really want to. Sometimes they could not really want to be that religion, so they might go against that.
All right.
Religion.
So
I think if you're going out with them for like a reason that might be relevant to their religion, then to be respectful of that, you shouldn't really eat things they might not be allowed to eat.
If it's like a religious festival,
yeah, you shouldn't then go and eat things they can't. Right. But I think if like it's just a general meeting of friends, or say it's something just like a meet up, then I think it just depends on them, and you should ask them how comfortable they feel with it.
So
and if
maybe
you're really
just ask them, just talk to them about it.
Yeah, you should be able to give it up for one meal if you're really good friends.
Does everybody here eat pork? Can I just ask? You don't eat pork?
Vegetarian.
You're a vegetarian, okay. Anyone else that doesn't eat pork? Do you eat pork? Just grass? I mean, what do unicorns eat, even? Yeah, ice cream.
I'd quite like to go vegetarian at some point, but it's really difficult because I like eating meat. What would your advice be to maybe cut down my meat consumption?
Okay, so Will wants to become a vegetarian.
Lock yourself in a cupboard and make sure you don't go near any meat.
Okay, so keep yourself away from sausages and other meat, yeah.
Where would you get your water supplies if you locked yourself in the cupboard, and where would your air go?
Okay, could it be a cupboard with a tap in it, perhaps?
My advice is to like go off meat little by little until you don't eat meat anymore. So like if you eat it like say 3 days a week, cut down to 2, then down to 1, and then just stop eating it.
Is that what you did?
No, I just stopped eating it altogether.
Okay, right. So you didn't do that, but you think other people maybe that would work better. Okay, all right. So we've got one vegetarian. Are you the only person that doesn't eat pork? What about the question about pork? And this question about sensitivity to guess other people's different values, I suppose. It's kind of a good question, but maybe we could spread it out just to more than the pork thing. I mean, are there other examples that are similar to this? What do people think? Have you ever come across somebody that does something a bit different for whatever reasons?
Okay, both my girls have just told me that they're going to stop eating beef, so you can ask them why.
Okay.
Alicia and Sadie.
What's the beef? What's the beef with
ask
the beef?
Sadie why she's going to give up beef.
Okay. Yeah.
So in science, we watched Before the Flood, the Leonardo DiCaprio thing, and he was basically saying that beef, like cows, like produce loads of methane, and methane's like a greenhouse gas.
Yeah.
So it like
how do they produce the methane?
Like farting and like eating and stuff.
Yeah.
So if you stop eating beef, it will reduce the carbon dioxide, so then there'll be like less global warming and stuff.
Okay.
And they were saying like if you stop eating beef and change it for like chicken or something, then it's just better.
Okay, so it's about the environment, it's about greenhouse gases, it's about the cows farting, and you're concerned about that. What's your name again? Sorry.
Liam.
What do you think about that, Liam?
Yeah, that's true. But can I kind of move the subject on to global warming, because recently we've
kind of already done that, I suppose.
Yeah, we've recently been told that there's no places can't have wine and stuff because of a lack of CO2, yet we're being told every day loads of CO2 is being pumped into the atmosphere.
Okay, so CO2 is a greenhouse gas, but we're running out of wine. Okay, give us a final thought.
Cheers, I'm off to the bar.
Okay, I mean, what do you think about this discussion that's happening? It's all about...
I think it's very good getting kids to talk to each other, because they spend too much time on their phones, so it's good to get them talking to each other face to face about stuff. And if my girls want to give up beef, I will support them in that.
Okay, will you give up beef too? Just going back to the original question?
No.
You wouldn't? You would?
Not
would you feel that you need
moment,
to be sensitive? What about if it was their birthday or something like that?
Yeah.
Would you avoid beef?
I'd make them a non-beef birthday cake.
Okay.
Yeah. I could do that.
Okay, no sweat.
Okay.
All right, so where do we want to take this discussion? We're talking about vegetarianism, we're talking about the environment. Are we worried about the environment? Are we worried about the lack of CO2 in our wine?
Like air pollution, because you could die from it.
Are you worried about dying from air pollution?
Yeah.
You are? Okay. Anyone else worried about pollution? No. You are? Well, a few people, yeah. On this side, what's your worry?
I'm just worried that we're making irrevocable damage now. That's my worry.
What's irrevocable?
Non-reversible. So I don't know if we've already hit the point actually where we've damaged the environment so much that there's no going back. I mean, does anyone know? Have we hit that point yet?
Have we gone to the point of no return? Oliver, what was your point?
Oh, I forgot what I was going to say now.
Well, we were talking about vegetarianism, we're talking about climate change, we're talking about CO2, we're talking about air pollution, I think you mentioned as well. Are we worried about these things? That's what we've been talking about. Is any of that? Bring it back? No.
Right now, pretty much everything's a death trap.
You think we're doomed here? Are we doomed?
Yeah, pretty much.
Are we doomed? Are we doomed?
Because the more electricity, it could overload. If everyone uses too much electricity at the same time, it might overload, which will cause a certain thing to happen. Maybe someone's phone could explode. The traffic lights could go different when you're in the middle of when you're in the middle of crossing the road. Bam! You've just got hit by a car. Okay. Everything's a death trap.
Okay. Are we doomed? Sorry.
Death!
Are we doomed? There's a feeling of doom that's come over there's a cloud of doom that's come over the Talkaoke table. Do you feel doomed? No? You feel positive, but you need to come over here because everyone feels doomed here. Global warming, pollution, we're doomed.
You know, I feel doomed because this guy's literally just gone dead!
Okay, so it's spreading. Everyone seems to be getting ice cream around the table as well. It seems to be I don't want an ice cream, no, but I'm just more worried about about what's going on. Is it a conspiracy? Are we getting polluted by ice cream? Is ice cream? Yep.
Global warming is a government conspiracy.
It's a government conspiracy. Okay, well, why are you eating ice cream then in Yorkshire?
That's nothing. How's that got to do with?
Well, because it's normally cold around here. I mean, everyone's eating ice cream. Isn't that not global warming?
This ice cream's really good.
Okay. Oh, all right. Okay.
And ice cream's just amazing.
Okay. I mean,
are
people eating more ice cream now? And is it because of global warming, or is
global warming that we have? It's because of global warming that we have a hosepipe ban.
Right.
We had a hosepipe ban, and it's also that's also the reason we're consuming more water.
What do you say? Is it Libby? No, Lauren. That's right. What do you say to Lauren that says it's a global conspiracy? This global government conspiracy.
A government conspiracy. How could it be a government conspiracy if there is scientific evidence proving that the world is getting warmer?
What is the evidence?
Literally, from this week, they've done tests in Antarctica or the Arctic. I can't remember which, where it showed within 10 years. the average temperature went up by 3 degrees.
Okay, so they've been measuring the temperature up in the Arctic and the temperature's gone up. There's the evidence, it's not a conspiracy. Yep.
Yeah, I think it's a conspiracy because I think so, and I'm the oracle.
Okay, so you just believe it because you do. You don't need evidence. Global warming, is it a conspiracy?
No.
Is it just... what's your name again?
Kian!
Kian says it's a conspiracy because he says so. Lauren?
I'm not saying I believe it, but I'm saying that it's a good point because he was on about scientists have proved it. But
temperature.
Scientists, governments, the government can control the scientists and control what they say and put out.
Do you trust the scientists?
Not really.
Okay, so do we trust the scientists? Is it just another form of government control?
Wait, there's one thing I want to say. If global warming's a conspiracy, doesn't that mean other things will be a conspiracy? Like the Illuminati. That's
What's
conspiracy.
the Illuminati?
It's like this secret organization. I don't know. It's a triangle with an eye in the middle.
Okay, so what are you saying? Do you think there are conspiracies out there, or they're not conspiracies?
If global warming isn't a conspiracy, other things might not be a conspiracy.
What do you think?
As well.
Is it a conspiracy or not?
It's global warming conspiracy theory.
Global warming? Probably not. I don't know.
Probably not. Okay, so maybe not a conspiracy. What do people think? And we've widened this out into general conspiracies. We've mentioned the Illuminati. Who are they? Is that a conspiracy going on?
But I was going to say the thing before that I don't actually believe that global warming is fake, but that scientists have got things wrong before.
What have they got wrong before?
Well, Charles Darwin said that it was in our blood that men are meant to be at the top of the food chain. They're meant to be more a thing, but we are more attracted to a chimp that the females are in charge rather than the males. So
Charles Darwin said that it was kind of natural for men to be in charge, but in chimps the females are in charge. In bonobos, okay. So scientists have got things wrong before. Have they got global warming wrong? Is it? And that's not necessarily a conspiracy.
Government conspiracies and scientists.
Yeah.
One word: UFOs.
Well, okay. Do you think
no one actually knows. There could be aliens. Who knows?
Is the government keeping information about aliens from?
They could be. People say Area 51 is an alien testing site.
Okay.
Some people say they've been to there and never seen.
Okay. Is the government keeping things from us, such as the existence of aliens? That's what we're talking about here.
I think sometimes it might be quite important for the government to keep things from the public because...
Like the existence of aliens?
Yeah, because how do you think the public react if everyone come out and went, yeah, there's all these alien species? Exactly, it would cause mass anarchy and panic. So maybe it's a good thing that the government keeps things a secret.
Maybe it's a good thing about...
Is the government keeping things from us, like the existence of aliens? That's what we're talking about here. Do you believe in aliens? No. Okay, look, who says yes? Who believes in aliens? Put your hands up. Who doesn't believe in aliens? Okay, so it's about half and half. About half and half. I mean, could the government keep things from us for our own benefit? Would it work?
I'd just like to kind of change the subject and say there's loads of conspiracy theories. One of the most controversial conspiracy theory was 9/11 and George Bush.
Oh yeah.
And he told some Islamic states to fly into the Twin Towers and blow them up so he could go to war with Iran or Iraq, I can't remember. Iran, and so because he wanted the oil from the thing.
Okay, so do you believe in that one?
I reckon it's very highly possible.
Okay, so it's possible. Do we trust our government? Do we trust the sources of information at large, be it about aliens, global warming, or going to war, 9/11? What's this?
Everyone says there's conspiracies on saying that that it wasn't actually a plane that went in. It was like bombs inside, because people that were inside at the bottom, they heard bombs, not like an airplane in the videos. All the videos like cut out at a certain point where it goes in, and then like the nose comes out the other side. But if that was real, the nose wouldn't be able to come out the other side of the building.
Okay. Where do you get this information from?
There's like
how often does
YouTube,
a plane fly into a building?
No, because they did it on a wall, so like to see if it would go through a wall, and it's like
it just squashed. It just squashed. It didn't come out the other side. What do people think? You had a hand up there. Oh, do we trust the government? Do we trust authority to give us the right information when it comes to sources of information about aliens, about pollution, about terrorist attacks coming over? Do you trust the government? Are they keeping secrets from us about aliens? What about 9/11? Come and get involved. Yeah.
Well, aliens could be real because on different planets there could be different living things.
Is it related to the 9/11 conspiracy, do you think?
I guess so, but not really.
Yeah. What's that?
Because he is linking to it because aliens are meant to be a conspiracy, but is it just a different creature living on a different planet? Yeah.
Okay, so that
different living
it's just a thing. It's just a thing. It's not a big deal. Aliens. Okay. Yeah.
In the age of fake news, we can't really trust anything that we find out.
Okay.
We have to back up we have to find sources to back up everything.
How do you trust anything then? I mean, do we just live in a world where we don't trust what anyone around this table says, or what anyone reads, or what anyone sees on TV? Who do you trust?
You trust credible things like say someone is good. Say a scientist has proved many things right and has predicted lots of things happening.
Yeah.
You'd probably trust them, and if it didn't come true, it'd just spoil their reputation.
What about Charles Darwin? He got the male monkey thing wrong.
Yeah.
And he was a great scientist.
Yeah, but that's just a stain on his reputation rather than making him untrustworthy. It just makes him a bit untrustworthy, but you'd still take.
Rely. Who do you trust? There's people. These young people do not trust the government. They don't trust scientists. They think 9/11 was an inside job. They're very paranoid, and they're just saying everything is fake news. How do they know who to trust? Trust your heart. Okay, come on, get involved in this. Come and have a seat on the table of the chat. Get involved, because we've got a lot of confused young people. They don't know who to trust here. Trust your heart.
Confused old people.
You're confused as well. Okay, interesting. Yeah.
You know, by saying that, people are just going to walk away. People are just going to walk away by.
Because it's too hot.
No, because you're saying, come over, conspiracy theories, aliens, and everyone's just going to be like, this man has gone insane, and then they're just going to walk away.
So you think that these topics too hot, too out there? Well, there's got a man here that's gradually getting reeled into this. What do you think about this? Do you know who to trust? Okay, give me a final thought before you go.
You don't know who to trust anymore.
Right.
It's just...
Okay.
I don't know.
How do you live in this world where you don't know who to trust?
You just gotta...
Every man for himself.
Yeah, every man for himself.
Okay, I mean...
And woman.
Alright, okay. Okay.
Every human for themselves.
Every human being for themselves, okay.
9/11 was predicted.
By who?
So in Michael Jackson, on one of his album covers before 9/11 happened, there was two really large towers, and there was a plane like about to go into it. As well as The Simpsons, one of their TV programs, it features two towers and like a plane going into them as well.
Okay, so there were a lot of like warning signs, a lot of murmurs, a lot of pre-echoes, so to speak. Who do we trust? Was 9/11 an inside job? That's what we're talking. It's too hot. It's too hot. Some of these subjects for the what's that?
Freezing.
No, I mean the subject's too hot.
Well, I think that's proof that not all conspiracies are conspiracies. If you're thinking about the weather we've had in this country, it's snowed for how long, and then it's hot for so long, and we think global warming's a conspiracy. No, global warming's a real issue, and I think governments sometimes cover things up, but not always. But I mean, who's it to decide what is a conspiracy and not?
Okay, well, that's the thing. Nobody knows who to trust, so we don't know. Hang on. Give us a final thought before you go. There's no commando sneaking away.
There's nothing there's not much we can trust, but all we know is that for all we know, anything that people have said could be true.
Okay, so how do we decide what is true and what's not true?
Always look at things with a bit of skepticism.
Okay, be skeptical at all times.
Not all times.
When should you not be skeptical?
When people have already
prove themselves.
People have already said something, and lots of other people come out saying the same thing.
Okay, so if a lot of people say it, millions of people can't be wrong. Final thought.
Trust the masses.
Trust your gut.
Trust your gut.
I once lost my shoe, and then I trusted my gut to go look in the bush, and I found my shoe.
Okay. Okay, so trust your gut, yeah.
Can I throw out? I think there's a lot of negativity. I think we need a bit more optimism, a bit more positivity in the world. Or is it just me that feels that way? I think people need to feel a bit more hope. Or is that just me?
I mean, are we
too negative as a society?
Yeah, I mean, are we too skeptical? Are we too untrusting?
Sometimes positivity, if you say, well done, you've done so much, people start slacking and then they do much. But then if you give them negatives, then they'll be like, oh, I need to work harder, I need to do this.
Okay,
that's
so
what happens quite
works
a lot.
Better in a way.
That's what happens quite a lot in schools as well, because I've got quite a bad form, and then all my teachers are like if we get congratulated, everyone starts talking, everyone starts not doing much, and then when we get a negative part, everyone it gets back to
down.
where.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we've got to be negative to improve the world, to at least to improve school. Come and get involved in this. We're talking about who do we trust. Can we be more positive in the world? Can we have a brighter outlook? We've got global warming, we've got pollution and all that kind of stuff. There's what's that?
The Illuminati.
There's certain worries about the Illuminati. Are you worried about the Illuminati taking over the world? Maybe you are. Okay. What do you think about the Illuminati?
Yeah, the Illuminati's really old now. The Illuminati probably doesn't exist.
Okay, it probably doesn't exist, so you're not that worried about it. Come and have a seat. Have you got a view on the Illuminati? We're talking basically about conspiracy theory. We started talking about global warming, and a lot of people around the table, especially Lauren, said it's a government conspiracy. And then we heard all sorts of other. The government have been hiding information about aliens from us. Because we're not ready to deal with it. And what about 9/11? Was it an inside job? No. So there's a lot of scepticism, but it's led to a very sort of negative view around the table. There's a lot of also concern about the Illuminati as well. Are the Illuminati actually pulling the strings here? We've got a whole lot of new faces at the table. Let's maybe quickly do it around names. My name's Mikey. What's your name?
Nelly.
And Will. And
Mackenzie.
Mackenzie, yep.
Toby. Max. Bella. Jack.
Alicia. Lauren.
Gabriel. Rowan.
Okay, and I'm Mikey, as I said. And
Livy.
Okay, so where do we want to go with this? Do we want to talk about, are we worried about the Illuminati? Are we worried about the government lying to us? Are we worried about global warming?
There's loads of artists nowadays making signals like 666 and stuff, which to do with the devil and everything, which to do with the Illuminati. So people think that Rihanna and Jay-Z are all in the Illuminati.
So are Rihanna and Jay-Z in the Illuminati? And what difference would it make if they were?
Because they influence young people a lot, so it could influence the way the government could make them influence the way the
Are
things
the government
we do.
involved in the Illuminati as well?
Probably.
Okay, government too, yeah.
Going back to when you said, the government lie and keeping stuff from us. If they were keeping stuff from us that could change our life, it could threaten the whole world from not telling us going if there was aliens, if somebody got.
So you think it's wrong to cover it up?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you have a point, Libby?
What's the Illuminati?
What's the Illuminati? Can someone explain?
I don't know.
Okay, someone explain. Yeah. Yeah.
It's a triangle with an eye in the middle.
Yeah. Isn't it like a secret conspiracy of cheesemakers trying to control global cheese production? Oh no, that's a Illuminati. Sorry, I had to drop it. Anyway, so we're talking about the Illuminati. They're something to do with a triangle and something to do with a triangle and an eye. We've cleared the table here.
The Illuminati started with this guy, I don't know his name, I can't forgotten. And he started this group which were like worship the devil and stuff and did like sacrifice.
How long ago was this?
I have no clue, I can't remember.
Okay, so it's like a secret devil worshipping group, yeah?
The government wouldn't be with the Illuminati because the Illuminati are trying to overthrow the government.
Okay, so they're working against the government. Do you know anything about the Illuminati? We're sort of stuck for some. Come on, tell us, because is it something to be worried about?
Well, nobody's actually confirmed it's real, so then maybe not.
What's that?
Nobody's actually confirmed it's real yet, so then...
Okay, so we're not really sure. You're sceptical of the whole existing Illuminati?
It's something to do with the X-Files.
Okay, something to do with the X-Files. Okay. We're talking about the Illuminati, but no one really knows what it is. They're kind of worried that it might be dangerous or they might be secretly controlling things. You think no? What's that? Come over, come and get involved. It's a load of rubbish.
Enjoy your life, don't worry about this stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. So come and sit down then. Come and sit down. Come and get involved in this. You're saying enjoy life. Is this an Illuminati T-shirt?
No, it's Maggie Thatcher with lasers coming out of her eyes.
Who's Maggie Thatcher?
She's like the Prime Minister of first female Prime Minister. She didn't really like the miners and sacked quite a lot of them.
Okay, so she sacked a lot of miners.
Yeah, and then there was a miner strike.
Okay, so did she have lasers? Did she kill miners with lasers?
It was a zip.
Yeah, okay. When we're talking about Illuminati, Margaret Thatcher, who was a bigger threat?
It says here that the Illuminati is a name given to several groups, both real and fictitious. Historically, the name usually refers to the Bavarian Illuminati, an Enlightenment era secret society founded on the 1st of May 1776. So I think it used to be like a real thing.
A bit like Margaret Thatcher. It used to be a big thing, but now it's kind of a thing of the past.
Used to be hot, now it's not.
Okay, hotel toast. Okay, where do we want to go with this? We're talking about worries and fears and conspiracies. What are we all worried about? I'm going to go around the table because we are on a negative. We're on a downer here, by the way. We're talking about conspiracies. We're talking about global pollution. The government lying to us. What are you worried about? Are you worried about Illuminati? Something else?
No, something else.
What are you worried about?
Pollution and all that.
Okay. What are you worried about?
Like pollution. So I'm worried about not getting that victory royale on Fortnite.
Okay, you're worried back to Fortnite, yeah? What are you worried about?
I don't know, the government.
You're worried about the government? What are you worried about the government doing?
Controlling young people.
Yeah? Is that what that T-shirt's about?
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay. So we're talking about what are you worried about?
Stuff.
Just stuff. Just anything. You don't really know. You don't know what to be worried about. It's a good point, actually. Yeah.
I think I'm worried about world governments, North Korea, and all that jazz.
You're worried about what? Are you worried about North Korea about?
The fact that they're blocking themselves off from the rest of the world.
Okay.
And they've got all this stuff going on with.
So they're kind of isolating themselves.
Yeah.
Okay. And
YouTube is banned or something in North Korea.
YouTube's banned in North Korea. That's obviously a bad thing to ban YouTube for a whole country.
Global warming.
Global warming. What are you worried about?
If Liverpool will get rid of Karius or not.
Okay. Well, do you want Liverpool to get rid of Karius?
Yeah.
Okay. Is he maybe a scapegoat for anyway? And we're not going there. No, hang on. We're not going to talk about Liverpool. I'm not going to talk about Liverpool. That's it. Give us a final thought before you go.
Things need to be talked about.
Okay. Well, we're definitely doing that here.
Drake in my feelings.
Drake. Okay, does that sum it up? Come and have a seat at the table of chat. We're talking about worries. What are we worried about? Most people seem to be worried about either a global sort of geopolitical thing like North Korea, or pollution, or the environment. One or two are worried about the Illuminati and the government.
Well, I don't think I think people worrying is like a bad thing. I think you should enjoy life.
Okay, so then don't worry.
Yeah, well,
shouldn't we be concerned about global pollution?
You should be wary of it, but you shouldn't you should help towards it, but you shouldn't make it your life. You
don't let it dominate.
You should also do things you like.
We didn't find out what you're worried about.
I'm worried about global warming.
Global warming as well. Okay, that's a big one. What are you worried about? You worried about anything at all? Okay, that's good. Come and have a seat on the table of chat. There's no age limit here on Talkaoke. Anyone can come and sit down. Come and have a seat. We've got a lot of worry here about global warming. It's mostly about pollution and stuff like that. A little bit of worry about.
People should be more wary of pollution and global warming because nobody's really doing anything about it.
Okay, who should be doing something about it?
Well, everyone should be doing their small part. So basically, trying to maybe not go in their car so much or use less electricity.
How did you get here for this weekend?
In a car.
By car? Do you think you could have walked or got a bicycle?
It's too far.
Too far, okay. Okay, so people should be using their cars less, but somehow they're quite convenient for getting to festivals and stuff like that.
Can I ask, why is it that young people don't worry about sitting at the table, but a lot of the adults seem to really get quite worried about sitting down? It's just one of interesting. What's that barrier that the young people don't seem to worry about, but adults might?
Come and have a seat on the table. Let's have a round of applause. Yeah, take your time sitting down just to milk the applause, that's fine. Come and sit down as well, lead by example. What's your name?
Flo.
Flo, and what are you worried about? Are you worried about global warming? Are you worried about the government? Are you worried about North Korea? Are you worried about driving less?
I've stopped reading Private Eye.
Yeah?
I try not to worry now. No, I am. I'm worried about lots and lots of different things. Mainly about Trump at the moment.
Trump? Okay. So what's the concern about Trump?
What's not the concern?
Okay. We'll just say that he's a very good liar and he does very well in the media because that's why he became the president, because he knows how to work it.
So he's working the media. Donald Trump is working the media and he's a liar. Does that make for a good president?
Can I also say I'm worried about Despacito 2, how it's coming out. It's played by NASA.
Okay, what is Despacito 2?
Just Despacito 2, just don't happen.
What's Despacito 1? Just maybe to start off with.
Despacito, you know what? Despacito.
No singing on the Talkaoke. We've got it.
Song.
Okay. So where we want to go? Do you want to go with Trump? Do you want to go with global warming? Maybe we can connect the two. Is there a connection?
Yeah. Everyone should be a bit worried about Trump because he's got these nuclear bombs at the moment. He's threatening loads of people, loads of countries.
Threatening people with Despacito 2 as well.
Yeah. Okay. So threatening. Okay. So there's some serious weaponry coming out here. Yeah.
Well, businessmen and politics don't usually mix.
Yeah. Okay.
In Trump's case, they do, which isn't necessarily a good thing.
Okay, so he's a businessman. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
And he's also a politician, and you don't think that's a good mix?
No.
Okay. Why?
Because he doesn't have the right mindset.
Okay. Does a businessman have the right mindset to be a politician? Surely they know about money and stuff and the art of the deal and things like that.
The thing about the nuclear bombs and stuff, there's a treaty saying that we're actually supposed to be getting rid of nuclear bombs.
Yeah.
So I don't think anyone right now should be threatening each other with nuclear bombs.
Okay, so it sort of goes against the treaty that... who signed the treaty?
I can't remember what it's called.
Maybe you can look it up on your phone.
Yeah, I did some homework.
Okay.
What was I going to say?
Give us a final thought before you go.
About the Trump. I think businessmen can be presidents because they have the right mindset and they know what to do about money and they also know about who to employ and know how to get the right people for which jobs.
Okay, so they know about things like businessmen can be good politicians because they know about employment, they know about money, they're just they've got that kind of nous. You saying a businessman is not a good politician?
when Trump, before he became a politician, he built casinos.
Yeah.
So then he might like have a gambling mindset as well.
Yeah.
And
Do you think he's got too much of a kind of flutter to be a president?
Yeah, and then also if he like says, and like when he was arguing with King John and like I've got a bigger rocket, it just shows like he reminds me of my big brother who's sitting there.
Okay. Well, this one.
Nah.
No, this. Okay, right. Yeah. Okay. So, are you threatening people with rockets?
No, but like.
Are you a bit of a gambler? What's the connection?
No, basically, like, I think this is my take on it. Basically, we're more near America, so if America decides to go to war, if America decides to go to war and like put out nuclear weapons, we're close to America, so it won't affect us as much. Therefore, I was saying like,
Wait, Matt, hang on a sec. Let me get a final thought from this person. Let's get a final thought from you.
I'm amazing.
Okay. What about Donald Trump?
He's gonna blow up the world.
Okay. Are you worried about it? Okay, so that's just gonna happen.
His sister, which is I can't remember. Is it sister or is it? There's too many people in his family. Too posh.
Okay, so he's got people family members. Let's just say for now, just to keep it vague.
There's someone who wants to be want to go in the next election, which is Donald Trump's daughter.
Yeah. And what are you saying? What's the issue here?
Scary.
You think it's scary that there's more Trumps
it depends
coming?
because it's going to be a kid in our country, but no, that's one kind of jealous.
Okay, what do you think about Donald Trump? We're talking about Donald Trump. Some people think he's going to cause nuclear war, but it's going to be okay because he's not going to strike us. Some people think he's quite scary. Some people think it's quite good because he's a businessman and a politician, so he knows how to hire and fire. He knows about money. He's got nous. Some people think he's not really on the money, and he's a gambler. He's a casino kind of guy. So is that the right sort of person to be president? That's what we're talking about right now.
I think the worry is not so much about the bombs, but more about the stuff he's doing behind the scenes. Like we were talking before about climate change and how bad it was, but he's been putting out stuff like the Paris Agreement. He's really.
What's the Paris Agreement?
So it's like an agreement between several countries to say they're going to reduce their carbon footprint in the future, and Trump just went, to hell with that. Let's get rid of it. I don't need that. We're not going to do that.
Okay.
So with him pulling back on that, he's not contributing. So it is going to affect us in lots of ways because he's damaging the world that we live in.
Damaging the world. Is Trump damaging the world? What do people think? I'm going to come back to Flo because you mentioned you've had a lot of views about Donald Trump. Has any of them informed you or changed your opinion about Donald Trump?
No, they all seem quite valid actually. I concur with most of them, yes.
Okay. Is the threat of Donald Trump actually about climate change or is it about the nuclear war? What do you think?
I think it's more insidious than that. I think it's just that he is a businessman who has now been in discussions with Putin, and his own country don't even know what he's been talking about to Putin. Therefore,
you got two rounds of applause.
Thanks, that's all.
From your
son.
And your adopted son as well. There.
So it's just we don't know what's coming next.
Okay, it's more we don't. Okay, give us a final thought before you go. Final thought or initial thought? You don't really know anything about Trump.
No.
Do you know anything about? Have you heard of Donald Trump before?
Yeah.
Have you got a view?
Not really.
No? Does it affect us at all, do you think?
No.
Okay. It doesn't. So what's your name again?
Georgia.
Georgia said it doesn't really affect us. So why are we worrying about Donald Trump?
Because he's a bad person.
Okay. But I mean, do we worry about all bad people around the world?
Yeah.
Okay, so we need to worry about any bad people around the world. Okay.
So this is going back a bit, but I said I'd find out what that treaty was called.
Yeah.
It's the Treaty on the Non-Proliferation of Nuclear Weapons.
Yeah, okay, and when was it signed?
I don't actually know.
Okay, we'll come back to you on that one. A while back, and Donald Trump, is he flouting the rules of the... We've got a new face. What's your name?
Jack.
Jack?
Sorry. Yeah.
What do you think about all of this chat about Donald Trump?
I only joined in because I was passing. I thought it was quite interesting.
Yeah, well that's how it works. This is Talkaoke, welcome.
Oh, you might have even covered this point, but I think the whole Noam Chomsky view on Trump, that he's just a front man. He's like, he's the magician's sleight of hand distraction over here, whilst the seriously damaging stuff is actually going on beyond Trump, behind. We don't even know.
Seriously damaging stuff?
Well, I don't want to go full X-Files conspiracy on you all.
We've been there.
But I don't think Trump is the leader of America. I think there's so many things.
Who is the leader of America?
The people who paid.
The people behind the curtains.
The people who paid for his thing, yeah.
Is Trump even really making the decisions? Is it people behind the curtains? Is it the shadowy operators? Come and have a seat on the table of chat. We're talking about Donald Trump. No, there's no age limit on Talkaoke. Okay, maybe we'll just have a quick round of names as well, just to reintroduce. We're talking about Donald Trump. Are you worried about Donald Trump? People are worried about different things about Donald Trump. Some people say, it's good because he's a businessman. He knows about money and hiring people. Other people have said he's working the media. Other people have said, what about the Paris Agreement? He's just trashed that. Other people are worried about war and nuclear war. What's your name again? Sorry? Jack has been saying that's just a distraction because behind the scenes there's other shadowy things going on, and Donald Trump's just the kind of, where we're not really supposed to be looking. So that's where we are right now. Maybe we'll just get a quick round of names. We have got
Flo
and
Max. Stan, can I just say that America had no chance of their president because I don't think either of them was good.
Okay, so they didn't have a good choice between the two.
So I think they just elected the person who they thought would just because he's a man. And they thought, maybe the men will do better. But
okay, so they went for him just because he was a man. They didn't have a good choice. Okay, what's your name?
Rowan. Gabriel.
What's your name?
Erin.
And
Ross.
Skylar. Emily.
Yeah.
Jack. Bella.
Jack, we got,
Toby. Mackenzie.
Teo.
And I'm Mikey. So we're talking about Donald Trump. You came and sat down on the table. Have you got a view on Donald Trump?
I think it's worth noting that he seemed to have a profound. People who are normally neutral now have a real opinion about how to judge people on the colour of their skin. I think there's a greater concern bias now, including for myself included, despite myself, towards people with bright orange skin.
Right.
I now don't like people with bright orange skin, and I don't want them in our country.
Okay. Does it extend to orange microphones and orange colour scheme?
I've been holding on to that joke for all weekend.
Okay. Okay. Well, you've dropped it now. Maybe we can work it up and just feed it in again, because there's no harm. So okay. So is orange as well? Are we worried about that? Are we worried about? Are we worried about what's going on behind the scenes? Actually, this whole session has been about this concern and worry that we don't really know what's going on. We don't know what's happening behind the scenes.
Just because Donald Trump is the president of America doesn't mean that we shouldn't be concerned about him and what he's doing in other countries and in his country.
Yeah. You mean just because it's not our country, we should still be worried about it?
Yeah, because he's doing good things, bad things, and I don't know.
Okay. So just you pay attention, basically, is the message.
Yeah, I think Jack's point was very valid because we've seen in history lots of kings and queens have had bad advisors who have made all the decisions. This could be the case here.
Okay, can you give us an example of that historical
I can't remember his name, but it was around the Peasants' Revolt, and the king was only 14 years old, and he had a load of really bad advisors.
Okay, so back in the day in the Peasants' Revolt, it all went wrong because of the bad advisors. Maybe it's going to be the same with Donald Trump. Are those shadowy operators behind the scenes saying the wrong things?
Well, I was gonna say Donald Trump. He's been technically adding to Ross's answer. He has been really racist to other peoples in different countries to the colour of the skin and stuff.
Okay, so he's got orange skin, but
and he's been
Are we being racist to Donald Trump by saying he's got orange skin?
No, so he's been threatening people too, and it's a 50-50 chance that he could, with one of his nuclear bombs, it could set off a gas that could go around the whole world.
Okay, so he could poison the world.
Everyone.
Let me just get a final thought from Jack, and I think Will had a point up there.
I think the orange skin's an interesting point because we obviously joke about it, but it's all part of the meme of Donald Trump, that everything he says, everything he does is this joke.
Right.
And that's what I mean by the distraction.
It's kind of trivialising politics in a way.
Yeah. It's it just seems so surreal. It's the whole joke in comedy as well. It's like, does satire even exist anymore? Because you've got this guy who's such a joke, you can't joke about him.
Okay.
You can't joke about him.
Okay, so it's kind of trivialised politics. It's kind of made everything seem a bit surreal when you've got this orange guy running the largest country in the world. Come and have a seat on the table of chat. We're talking about Donald Trump. Are you worried about Donald Trump? Do you know who Donald Trump is? Is it a concern? Is he just another president, another crazy president out there? Come and get involved in this. There's no age limit here. Yeah.
We spoke a lot about sort of Trump and government and the conspiracies and all sorts. I think we need more young people, not only in the UK government but US government.
Yeah.
I think with more involvement from young people, it just add a different perspective. Maybe. I'm just interested in what other people think.
Politics should have more young people.
Yeah, like actively involved in this sort of how the country's organised.
Okay. Well, we were talking about that earlier on, actually, that young people should be more involved in.
But actively involved in the infrastructure of the government.
Okay, so should young people actually be running it? Would we trust them more?
Okay. I'm worried about something that Donald Trump is doing. Donald Trump is enslaving a hamster to sit on his head.
Right,
that's the thing, right?
So
and
it's animal cruelty as
and
well.
And also, that looks like the colour of Donald Trump's skin.
Okay, so is this a Donald Trump? Are we secretly branding Donald Trump?
I made the point about orange skin as a part of satire to show about racial differences and how absurd they are. But more interestingly, the fact is that someone who has all the money that can get, basically, and he has the best image advisors available, yet he has a cheap spray-on orange tan and a horrible haircut. Now, I think this is not by accident, and I wouldn't be surprised in 20 years' time that even his paunch is actually kind of fake padding.
Okay, so has he deliberately gone for this kind of slightly disarming look by having the funny hair and the funny skin and the funny paunch? Is it all just part of almost like a kind of clown look to distract us?
He doesn't even have his own hair. He has a toupee.
A toupee?
Yeah,
toupee.
Toupee, sorry.
A toupee. Okay. All right. Yeah.
Can I say something about America, but not Donald Trump?
Yeah, of course you can.
So in America, there's also a huge volcano that's 2,000 years overdue, and then if it explodes, it'll destroy half the world.
Okay.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that.
Okay.
Yellowstone.
Okay, so there's more. I mean, there's been a lot of doom and gloom and worry around this table
in terms of looking for shadow organisations, it might be worth noting that there was a marked increase in the production of asbestos in Russia long before the restrictions were lifted on asbestos use, combined with the fact that gold hasn't collapsed in the market the way it should. You know, the whole buying cash for gold thing that's existed, that hasn't collapsed the way the commodity should. Now, I'm not saying, just risking a bit of a tinfoil hat look here, but obviously I'm not saying that the gold has been hoarded for its own use, but asbestos and gold have innate properties to do with heat resistance, just to make everyone extra paranoid.
Okay. Should we be paranoid? This is like a paranoia session. The rest of the Talkaoke has all been about, learning to live together. This particular session's about, do we trust the government? What about Donald Trump? Is he a shadowy operator? And are there things going on behind the scenes? Are we about to have nuclear war? What about the environment? That's what we're talking about in this session, yeah?
Well, there's been theories going around the countries and stuff. Yeah. And it's been saying they would rather have Donald Trump be elected rather than Hillary, because they were saying Hillary might have been even worse and started bombing people.
Okay, so
Hillary, not really bombing, but still threatening, but in a.
I mean, why did they have such a bad choice?
Bernie.
I don't know.
What's that?
Bernie.
Bernie Sanders. Okay, Bernie Sanders. I thought we were talking about. I thought you were talking about burning Donald Trump.
Yeah. Well, also in the US, you're allowed guns, aren't you? So I agree with what people have been doing about
Stop gun permits.
Yeah, guns in America, especially for teachers, because they wanted teachers to have guns. And I just think that's wrong, because
Okay.
Like I swear, like
we're back to the teachers' capital punishment argument.
If my teachers had like guns, they'd probably end up shooting me. I'm that annoying.
Okay, so you don't think it's a good idea for teachers to have guns? Okay.
Because in America there's a lot of school shootings, which is quite wrong.
Yeah.
But then arming the teachers, where it's just going to be a war between students and teachers, like it's just wrong.
Okay. I mean, yeah.
If we just throw in, I think with this whole argument around teachers being armed with guns, we forget that it's actually terrifying, the idea of somebody being in a school with a gun, and staff aren't there to defend students, they're there to educate them. You know, that's an issue that they need to tackle themselves.
Okay.
Interesting legal point, which would never be upheld in a court, but in the Constitution, which is their main legal document, bear is spelled B-E-A-R, as in bear clause.
Yeah.
So theoretically, you could take them to court and say that the whole idea is spurious and that you have the right to physical bear arms off a creature, but not bear arms as in to have our guns.
So you can bear arms,
because the spelling is archaic. So I'm saying if you were a lawyer with enough money, you could theoretically challenge that.
Okay. I mean, do you think that should we be allowed to all have our own guns around the place? No. Yeah, and teachers, I mean, early on we were saying teachers should be allowed to do capital punishment, but you think no. Okay, yeah.
Well, back to the Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton. Even though they didn't have that good a choice, America actually picked Clinton, but because it's a different voting policy and it goes off states, then that's why Donald Trump was elected, but more people actually voted for Hillary Clinton.
More people went for Hillary?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, but not the right people?
Some people say.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
See,
Yeah.
I've just come back from Wyoming.
Yeah.
And
why?
A holiday.
Yeah.
And a wedding. And a wedding.
Yeah.
So I went there, and we were in a cowboy town called Saratoga.
Yeah.
Quite a poor town.
Yeah.
And they had a festival that day, and all the people sat around, and we sat chatting to them all.
Yeah.
And they were all going, "I bet you hate us," and I was going, "No, not at all."
Yeah.
And they were going, "Yeah, but Trump," and they voted for Trump to be in because they've got nothing and they won't change.
Okay.
But it's not about us hating the American people, it's about disliking Trump.
Okay.
And the people who I spoke to were very poor and they just wanted change to how they were living.
Okay, so they were desperate for change and they thought Donald Trump's a better kind of throw of the dice. Any views on Donald Trump? Come and get involved in this?
I don't know the guy.
You don't know him? Well, Flo's been to Wyoming, so she...
I've heard a lot of bad press about him.
Yeah?
Yeah, but I've never met him.
Do you think it's wrong to talk about someone that no one's met?
Well, possibly on a personal level, yeah.
Okay. I mean, all right. I mean, there's been a...
himself in the press, so I mean, you know,
people
come and sit down, come and get involved in this, come on.
People have a PR face.
Yeah.
Yeah, people have a PR face, and it's only the face you see.
So
but behind that, and offset and off screen, like he might be. I don't know. I've never met him.
Okay.
He might
be bad. He might be good. We don't know.
Who knows? Who knows?
Okay. I mean, there's a lot of photos of him partying in nightclubs from the 1980s. So maybe he's just a party animal. Do we know the real Donald Trump, or is it just, is it just a smokescreen? Is it just what we see on the television
of our society?
Yeah. Okay.
The issue is that nobody really knows because he spends the majority of his time running smear campaigns and just belittling the opposition. So he's constantly talking about the fake media or crooked Hillary or what is it? I can't remember what he's called, Ted Cruz. But he's just constantly belittling other people. So he's never actually talking about his own points.
Okay. I mean, do you think it's fair to criticise him if we don't really know him?
Oh, well, I think if you're going to put yourself in the public forum and run for a position that is paid for by the taxpayer, then you are open to scrutiny.
I mean, but a lot of people have been challenging things like the colour of his skin and his hair and stuff, and the fact that he's a little bit fat. Should we be latching on to these things?
No, and also, I just thought this. Since in America, if you're at a certain age, but kids are still allowed guns, like a pistol or something, they could actually overthrow like Donald Trump.
Yeah.
I just thought of that. I was like,
would they overthrow Donald Trump?
Probably not, actually, because he has so much protection.
Okay. So kids could potentially form a revolutionary army and overthrow Donald Trump with their access to guns.
Chee Bang Bang.
Yeah, like in Chee Chee Bang Bang, but a bit more real. Okay, yeah.
I like to. I'm sorry, James Flo, is it?
Yeah.
I like to point out that yes, they might vote for him because of like deep depressive circumstances, but that's no different to like Hitler being elected in Germany because people wanted change. It's people of power taking advantage of people who feel desperate, quite frankly.
Okay.
And they've been manipulating the situation to their own ends.
Okay, so it's desperate, it's manipulation. We didn't get. Have you got a view on any of this? I mean, what do you think? If you can't talk about the person, can you at least talk about the politics? Or you're not interested in the politics? Not really. Okay. Any views from the back there? No.
Good, thank you.
Yeah. Anything about Donald? Are you worried about Donald Trump?
I am worried about it.
Okay. All right. Well, come and get involved in this.
I like him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Would you be involved in the Revolutionary Army and take over America if you were an American citizen?
What? Go overthrow power?
Would you borrow Dad's pistol and go and take over?
No. I don't think a pistol I know there's been quite a lot of revolts in history, but I don't think I think people will find their own way around it.
Okay, so there's better ways maybe than just grabbing Dad's pistol and going to. Maybe we'll find out what they are. Yeah.
It's technically as if he has no feelings because he doesn't really care about anyone except for himself or any of his he cares for his family and maybe people who.
So he's got feelings for. Okay, so
he doesn't have feelings for the people who works for him too.
Okay.
He doesn't really care if they die. He'll just he will just get new people to work for him.
We're talking about Donald Trump. Most people around the table don't really like Donald Trump, it's fair to say, but for different reasons. And there's a lot of concern about Donald Trump, about where he's taking the world. Other people have said, well, that's America and this is the UK. Should we be worried about what happens over there? So that's what we're talking about now. This is Talkaoke, Freeform Talk Show. We can talk about whatever you want to talk about. There was a little bit of a kind of a murmur of revolutionary uprising where perhaps there's a suggestion that the kids could take the pistols, all those guns in America, and go and overthrow Donald Trump if they didn't like him. But I think people felt it was a bit too dangerous. Yeah.
I'm just going to leave on one final note before I go and drink beer to drown my sorrows. But basically, I'm personally a pacifist. I follow a pacifist philosophy, but I'm fully aware there's a time when comic, satirical, witty memes on media is not going to work. The Nazis weren't defeated with flowers and propaganda posters. At the end of the day, nothing speaks like a bullet.
Okay, so sometimes you have to just use force, and maybe it's up to the kids of America to go and overthrow Donald Trump, and the teachers maybe as well, if we arm them too. Okay.
I try to throw out, so go back to something you said, Mikey, around is it fair to sort of criticise Trump's...
Yeah, well that was your point, wasn't it?
Yeah, we were talking about criticising Trump's appearance though, and people picking apart just because he's a president, should pick on that. But I think, actually, to think about the fact that he's quite a misogynistic individual that picks apart women's looks, that I think that has to come into play and think, actually, if you're going to make comments about other people, then you've got to really judge yourself, because he's setting a double standard for himself, isn't he? He's saying that women have to look a certain way, but I'm allowed to look like this because I'm a man.
Okay, so what does misogynist mean?
So somebody that believes, he's acting like he's superior because he's a male, purely because he's a male, that he's better than other women, which is
so he's
just not
he's
right.
better than women, so he sort of thinks men are better than women?
Yeah, he thinks women have to look a certain way, and he's allowed to look the way he does just because he's a man.
Okay, so women can't have blonde hair and fake tan.
They have to be skinny and look like a model, and I think it's ridiculous.
Final thought before you go.
Final thought. Let's build a wall around Donald Trump.
Yeah, okay. Donald Trump could be the basis. Okay, so we're talking. We seem to be stuck on Donald Trump. We're talking about Donald Trump. There doesn't seem to be any way out of this. What's that?
Teo hasn't come.
Okay, I mean, well, the whole point of this is it's up to you. If you want to come and say something, if you want to come and sit down and just listen, you don't have to stand up. You've got a seat there. Okay. So I guess, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I feel like we're stuck on it, and we're not really. I don't know if we're making Yeah.
Can I change the subject completely?
Yeah, if you want to. Yeah.
What happens if we're just somebody's imagination,
right,
and then there's a whole new person, and we're inside somebody's imagination? It's a re-entering cycle.
Are we actually ourselves or the product of somebody else's imagination? Okay. Yeah.
So it's like a dream. So when you when you go to sleep and you're dreaming, that's real life. But now, like, as if this is a dream now. But when you go to sleep, you wake up.
Okay.
And then when you wake up, you go to sleep.
How do we know which way round it is? How do we know? Are we doing a collective dream now? Or is this just my dream?
You don't know who's controlling your body.
Yeah.
Existentialist crisis.
Yeah. This is quite a bad one, to be honest. It's all about Donald Trump.
If that was true, then nearly everyone in this world would be dead. Because I've dreamt about weird stuff. Like I've dreamt about giants trying to kill me, and like nearly all the people from Suicide Squad.
So what you're saying is that reality is markedly different from dreams because you don't have giants and stuff like that.
Yeah. You never know. You can maybe like life is an imaginary thing, so you can never die in real life.
How do you know that this is reality? This could be part of your imagination. That's what. Yeah.
So this could be a dream. You could just die right now.
Yeah. Okay.
But so you can die in dreams, but you can't in real life.
Okay. How do we know this isn't? We're not just part of a dream here. That's what we're talking about now.
Oh, there's a great anecdote for this. There was a story about a philosophy student that was writing. I think it was his masters.
Yeah.
He sat in an exam, and the exam was they put a chair in front of them and said, "Right, you've got 2 hours. Explain how these chairs are real." And there was one student that sat there for the whole exam, and then just wrote, "What chair?" ? And he aced his class.
Okay. So how do we know this is real? How do we know this is not all just part of a dream? We've moved on from Donald Trump. And we've changed it radically. Is this all part? How do we know we're not in a dream right now? What's your name again?
Gabriel.
Gabriel said, well, in dreams you have all kinds of stuff like giants chasing you and things like that, which you don't necessarily. And what's your name?
Rowan.
Rowan's saying, sometimes you die in dreams and stuff like that. So that's how you can tell. But can we really be sure that this is not just one big dream?
Yeah, because you can feel stuff now, and that you can't feel stuff in a dream. And
what do you mean you can't feel stuff in a dream?
And if a dream was true, then last night I was swimming in jelly. So.
Last night you were swimming in jelly?
Yeah.
What flavour?
Raspberry.
Raspberry. Okay. 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 Interesting. Yeah.
Yes, but what if you die in a dream and then you wake up? Because then you think, but like in it, like you've gone to sleep in your dream and then you wake up into real life. The bubble, like there's a giant chasing you, then it kills you, but then you wake up into the dream. Yeah. But then how would you be able to dream because you're dead?
Okay, so all right, okay. I think I get that. We're talking about how do we know this is I mean, it's not just a dream. Then how do we know that this reality is real? How do we know that as it's gone now, but as Will said, that the chair is real?
Because somebody's going to kill you.
Yeah. In a dream, someone would kill Donald Trump. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Going back to the Donald Trump thing, just calling back to that. How do you know you're not in a dream?
You don't. There's certain discerning factors that. Yeah. This is reoccurring for one. This reality is reoccurring if it's real or not.
Yeah.
So you've got that.
Okay, so it may not be the real reality, but it's the one that keeps coming back. Yep.
My opinion is that this thing right now is happening infinite times over.
What do you? Hang on. Can you explain that a bit more? What do you mean by that?
Well, it's impossible that it's not.
What do you mean by that? I don't get what you're saying. Sorry.
Because above us, it's infinite. It doesn't end, so it's impossible that this circle and us talking now is not happening.
So it's called Talkaoke,
right
by
now.
the way. Would it be called Talkaoke in other parts of the universe? I don't know. But you're saying that if the universe is infinite, then the same scenes must be reenacted.
It's impossible that it's not, because it's infinite.
Okay. Okay, is this Talkaoke discussion being happening somewhere else in a parallel part of the universe?
Basically, my friend told me this.
Yeah, maybe we should go back to Donald Trump.
Yeah. No, it's not about Donald Trump. Basically, when you die, your brain carries on working for 7 minutes, and it replays your memories. So curveball, we're all dead.
Okay, so are we all dead already, and we're just living out our final dream of our whole life, just rewinding, playing back to us?
I'm just wondering then, if there's an infinite amount of Mikeys with an infinite amount of shirts just sat in the middle of a table, and what those shirts would look like. I think it's marvellous.
Yeah. Okay. Is there
jokes?
What's that?
Maybe some different jokes in terms of
maybe
Illuminati.
the Illuminati. Oh, well, at least you remembered it. At least you remembered it. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, going back to Ron saying that that everything could just be a dream. That means I could become Thanos and destroy the entire universe. Stay away from me.
All right. Okay.
Destroy what?
If you're going to not the whole universe. If you're going to destroy something on this planet, what would you destroy?
Okay. I'll destroy a leaf.
A leaf. Okay. Okay. Let's go around the table. If you're going to destroy something, what would you destroy?
I don't know, but I'm not sure.
Yeah. That chip, maybe?
Yeah, chip.
Okay.
Pollution.
Destroy pollution, yeah?
And carbon dioxide.
Okay, yeah. Good thing to destroy.
Homework.
Homework. Destroy homework. What would you destroy, Flo?
Washing the dishes.
Okay. Can't you just get a dishwasher? Okay, you've got one, okay. So maybe that problem's been solved?
Tomatoes.
What's that?
Tomatoes.
You destroyed all tomatoes, okay, yeah.
My brother.
Okay, you destroy your brother?
My adopted one.
The big one or the... yeah.
I probably destroy the problem of drugs.
You destroy what?
Drugs.
Drugs. All drugs. Okay. Okay, alright, yeah.
I'll destroy I don't know.
You don't know, yeah?
I'll probably say like pollution and like plastic.
Okay.
But not like all plastic.
Yeah.
Plastic that is bad for the environment.
Well, I mean, these chairs would be destroyed. We'd end up sitting on the grass.
But these are like good plastic. These aren't really plastic that would like make the environment bad.
Yeah.
They like these are just to sit on to like have a comfy sit.
Okay, let's just get a final thought. Hang on a second, we've got your point, but let's get a final thought from over here.
Peace and love.
Peace and love, okay. A final thought. It might be time to destroy this conversation because final thought.
I want to kill my brother.
Okay. Well, maybe I think there's a little bit of conflict resolution to be done this weekend.
My final thought is everybody should love life.
Okay.
Life's worth living.
And brothers as well.
Pardon?
Brothers too?
Brothers are there for life.
Okay. Okay, so love life, love brothers. Okay. Okay, what would you destroy?
I'll destroy grass.
Grass? Why? Is that... Okay. Okay.
Wait, what are we doing?
Are we talking about pressing the self-destruct button? We've actually been around. What would you destroy?
All the schools.
You destroy the schools, okay? Yeah.
Everything that's bad for the earth.
What? Give us an example.
Pollution.
Pollution, destroy pollution. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to get some final thoughts because talking about this. Are you going to do a session?
If you want, but we can.
Yeah, I think we've kind of done it. I mean, we're talking about destroy. We've kind of destroyed this now. We've kind of done it to death.
Do a round of final thoughts.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. We're gonna just bail out of this. We're gonna hit the self-destruct button. So let's get some final thoughts. We talked about conspiracy theories. We've talked about Donald Trump. That's about it, really, isn't it? In this session, we've talked about reality, and is this a reality? Escaping reality. We've talked a little bit. We want a final thought from you before we go. Okay. Look,
kick off the final thoughts by saying the Illuminati is definitely real, and I think it's a cheese epidemic. I think we need to all be mature about it, and just deal with it, really.
Okay. I'm going to come back to you on that. Final thought.
What are we doing?
What's that?
What are we doing?
We're doing a final thought. What are you thinking right now? What's your name, first of all?
Edward.
What are you thinking
What's
right now?
in your head? Anything? Go on, say the first thing that's in
I'll come back to you. What? Yeah.
Mummy and Daddy.
Okay, Mummy and Daddy. Is that the answer?
Yeah.
All right.
Screw Trump and everyone who likes him because he's a bad person and
Okay.
he presents
Well, what about all those
cruelty.
millions and millions of Americans?
Well, it depends whoever is in America who likes him and supports him, but some people in America maybe hate him and want to move to a different country because they don't want him as the president. They want a different person.
Okay, so there's a little bit of division going on in America. Final thoughts?
I like swimming in jelly.
Okay, you like swimming in jelly. That was part of the dream. That was part of the dream world that we were visiting earlier on. Final thought?
Oh, I'm just come back.
Well, we're on to final thoughts right now. We've got a final thought. Yeah.
Nothing.
Nothing. You just nothing.
I'm not
Absolutely
thinking
nothing.
about anything
Absolutely
else.
nothing. Yeah.
My final thought. First, turn yourself into Lego, and second, listen to
What would you
Gorillaz. It's
get
an
out?
amazing band.
Hang on a sec. What would you get out of turning yourself into Lego?
I'll just be Lego, and I love Lego, so I'll just be Lego.
Okay, so it's be what you love. Okay.
I build myself.
Okay. We're getting final thoughts. Yeah. Final thoughts.
Basically, dreams are somewhere we can escape from the harsh reality of the world.
Okay. Why do we need to do that?
Because sometimes reality can be too stressful.
Okay, so it's a release from the stress. Final thought?
What? Okay, hi.
Hello? We're doing final thoughts now, so it's just like that philosophical kind of sense of closure, that kind, maybe as it was a more mature comment from Will. Yeah.
I've got a. So whose tea is this, and why has he got a girl squatting on the grass?
This actually belongs to me. This is a disposable cup, a non-disposable cup. It's a reusable cup. It belongs to me, and I use it for espresso actually to save on waste.
Oh, so you've got a girl squatting on grass.
Yes.
Well done.
Yes.
Well done.
Okay. That's Pippi Longstocking, by the way. Final thought?
Always travel light.
Okay. Why?
Do you?
Okay, especially in your dreams, I suppose. Travel light in your dreams. Final thought?
Love life because you only get to live once.
Okay. Are you sure about that?
Yeah.
Well, reincarnation.
You don't get reborn though.
Okay.
You don't die and then come back to life like Jesus.
Okay, so you. Okay. Well, that's maybe for the next session. Final thought?
Donald Trump actually reduced corporation tax this year, so he's a good guy.
Okay.
He's made small to medium businesses richer. So.
Okay. Okay. Final thought from the at the back here. Have you got final thought?
Just chill.
Okay, just chill. Okay. But you've only got one life to chill in. Is it a waste of time just to chill in that one life?
Dudism.
Yeah. Okay.
Big Lebowski, you'll know what I'm on about.
Dudism. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. We're going to leave that for now. We're going to leave it there. We're going to try and dream up some more cheese jokes. And we can talk about maybe the right for Americans to camembert arms. But that's all for the next session. Thanks everyone for taking part. This is Talkaoke. We're here all weekend, so come back later. Thanks everyone for participating in the talk show. We might be, I don't know, we're discussing, we've kind of done our time tonight, so it might be tomorrow we come back. Unless we're persuaded. With some more drinks and some
more drinks are a great idea.
I'm open to persuasion by halloumi or any other cheeses.
They do halloumi somewhere. I saw it. I reckon.
Yeah.
They do halloumi on falafels.
Yeah, it's delicious. Okay. Anyway, that's next time. Thanks very much. Have a round of applause. Thanks to Ruby on camera.
Cheers.
Thanks to Will, the main host, and thank you.